A mission to help someone who has fallen into hardship, surrounded by a literal mountain of trash. This isn't your average messy house. This is a place that tells a story of struggle and neglect that has left a woman isolated in her own home, desperately in need of help. As we step into this space today, we're not just fighting dirt and grime, we're fighting for hope, for a fresh start, scurrying through piles of garbage as if this wasteland were their kingdom. The sight of these enormous rats Cleaning your home isn't just about making it look nice. It's about protecting your health and well-being. Often we don't realize how clutter and dirt can sneak into our lives, silently creating an environment where bacteria, mold, and dust thrive. Over time, this can lead to serious health problems. By dedicating just a little time each day to cleaning, you're not only creating a peaceful, organized space, but you're also taking proactive steps to protect yourself and your family from these hidden dangers. So let's take that first step and make cleaning a priority. It's a decision your future self will be grateful for. There's something truly rewarding about cleaning a bathroom, especially when it's been left untidy for a while. At first, it might feel overwhelming. Soap scum, grime, and dirt seem to be everywhere. But as you start scrubbing away the mess, it's as if you're not just cleaning the space, but also clearing away the stress and chaos. With every wipe and scrub, the bathroom begins to transform. That sense of order and cleanliness leaves you with a deep sense of peace. Thank you all for watching and being part of this journey. Remember, no matter how insurmountable things may seem, there's always a way forward, even if it takes a village. So hit that subscribe button if you want to see more inspiring transformations. And if you know anyone who needs that little bit of hope and help, share this with them. Together, let's show the world that no mess is too big and no story is too difficult to change. Until next time, stay strong, stay compassionate, and never underestimate the power of a fresh start. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, where we take on some of the dirtiest, most challenging cleanups you could ever imagine. Today we're diving into a scene unlike any other we've seen, a house that has been left in complete disarray after a heated argument between a couple. The mess is beyond anything you might expect, and the smell, well, let's just say you might want to hold your breath. So join me as we go step by step through this ultimate cleanup, tackling each chaotic corner to transform this place from wrecked to refreshed. All right, let's take our first look inside this home. Right as we step in, the smell hits like a wall. You can feel the mustiness, and there's an unmistakable sour odor lingering everywhere. Something like a mix of spoiled food, mold, and just neglect. It's heavy in the air, and it clings to everything around us. Let's move into the living room here. It's a true disaster zone. Papers are scattered everywhere, personal items tossed across the floor, and piles of clothing thrown around. You can tell there was some serious tension in this room, and it's not just the clutter. There's visible dirt coating the surfaces and dust that looks like it's been untouched for months. This kind of buildup is no joke, and it makes everything feel even more chaotic. This once stunning home, a dream for many, now lies abandoned and in complete chaos. What was once a place of elegance and pride is now swallowed by neglect and disorder. The grand rooms with their high ceilings and beautiful architecture still hold traces of their former glory, but they are now covered in dust and clutter. The air is heavy with the scent of neglect, and every step feels like a reminder of what this home used to be. It's heartbreaking to witness the decline of a space that could have been a sanctuary. What was once a place of comfort and beauty now tells a story of forgotten dreams. When cleaning is neglected for too long, it doesn't take much for a home to fall into total disarray. Dust slowly builds up on every surface, transforming once clean countertops into sticky, grimy spaces. Furniture becomes buried under forgotten piles of clutter, leaving the room feeling chaotic and overwhelming. The floors, once spotless, are now covered in layers of dust and debris, making each step feel heavier. Over time, the mess continues to grow, and no corner of the house remains untouched. What was once a place of comfort now feels like a burden, a constant reminder of how quickly a home can slip into disorder when it's left unchecked. As we begin cleaning, the first thing that hits you is the thick layer of dust that covers the floor. The once bright tiles have lost their shine, now discolored and faded from years of neglect. Each swipe of the mop sends up clouds of dust, and the air becomes heavy and stale, making it difficult to breathe. The white tiles, once spotless, now have a yellowish tint, with stubborn stains stubbornly clinging to their surface. The atmosphere feels suffocating, like the house itself is holding on to years of forgotten dirt and grime. Every corner of the room seems to hold on to the past, and it feels like a constant battle to bring. This home, though in need of some serious attention, is in much better shape than some of the places we've encountered before. As we move through the rooms, it's clear But beyond just cleaning, this is about taking responsibility for our environment and our health. A clean home is more than just a comfortable place to live. it's a safe one. When we let dirt, dust, and clutter build up, we create an environment that can foster germs and bacteria, making it easier for dangerous illnesses to spread. Regular cleaning and upkeep are not just chores, they are an investment in our health. Let's all remember the importance of a clean space. A clean home is a healthy home, and together we can create spaces that not only look good, but also keep us safe and happy. As we dig through the clutter, one by one we start uncovering strange, fascinating items hidden beneath the mess. It feels like we're on a treasure hunt. A dusty old book with a beautiful cover, a vintage toy from a forgotten time, even an antique piece of jewelry tucked away in a corner. The excitement builds with each find, and we can't help but laugh and share our discoveries like we've struck gold. It's amazing how, in the middle of all this chaos, there are little treasures waiting to be uncovered. And just like that, we're done. What a journey this has been. From the overwhelming clutter and chaos left behind after that argument, to the clean, calm, and orderly space we see now. If you enjoyed this cleanup, or if it gave you some inspiration to tackle your own messes, make sure to like and subscribe for more extreme cleanups. This was no easy job, but seeing the result makes every minute worthwhile. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next cleaning adventure. Hello everyone. Today we have one of our biggest challenges yet here on the Cleaning Hero Squad. You're not going to believe the state of this house. It's honestly one of the most intense situations we've encountered. This isn't just any ordinary mess, and it isn't just any old house. This is one of the most shocking haunted houses we've ever been called to clean. As soon as you walk in, the first thing that hits you is the overwhelming stench that's settled into every corner. The air is thick with a mix of mildew, rot, and, let's be honest, a fair bit of mystery. You'd expect to find some dusty old cobwebs in a place like this, but what we're facing here is on a whole different level. We're talking piles of moldy trash, rotting food, and an army of rats that have made this place their own. So buckle up and hold your nose because we're diving right into the grime and mystery of this haunted mess. Let's see what we can uncover and how much of this place we can restore to something clean, safe, and even a little livable. Let's go. Now look at this. Piles upon piles of discarded junk, like layers of history that no one wanted to deal with. It's a maze of chaos, making it impossible to even take a step without tripping over something. Every surface is caked in dust, and there are dark stains on the floors that give you a glimpse of just how long this house has been forgotten. And oh boy, where do we even start? There are abandoned pieces of furniture that look like they haven't been touched in years. The couch, covered in stains so thick it's hard to tell what the original color even was. And the smell? It's hard to ignore the rat droppings scattered on the floors and around the furniture. The place has clearly been a playground for these little pests. The sight before us is truly overwhelming. The entire house, from the cement floor to the far corners, is buried under a mountain of clutter. Old, dusty boxes, torn fabric, and countless forgotten items are piled high. The cement floor, covered in a thick layer of grime, has been stained by years of neglect, with patches of brown and yellow that have dried into hard, sticky remnants. Scattered around the room are plastic bottles, empty cans, and half-eaten food, creating an unbearable mess. The air is heavy, thick with the musty odor of mold, dust, and the pungent stench of decay. Every step feels suffocating as the overwhelming chaos seems to swallow the space whole. The team stood frozen for a moment, absorbing the weight of the neighbors' words. A chill ran down their spines, and the air seemed to grow thicker with each passing second. The stories of strange noises, slamming doors, and eerie shadows left a lingering unease in the pit of their stomachs. Despite the fear creeping into their minds, there was an undeniable sense of determination. They had come this far, and there was no turning back now. But as they walked closer to the front door, the house seemed to grow colder, its presence pressing down on them. As the team continued their work, the atmosphere in the house felt thick with unease. The darkness was almost palpable, wrapping around them like a heavy blanket. The eerie silence was suddenly shattered by a loud bang from upstairs, followed by a series of soft, shuffling sounds that seemed to move from one corner of the room to the next. The air grew colder, and the faintest whispers seemed to echo from the walls, making their hearts race with fear. The team froze, wide-eyed, trying to convince themselves it was just the old house settling. Each creak of the floor, every whisper in the dark, was a reminder that they were not alone in this house. As the team carefully approached the toilet, a sense of unease crept over them. The sight in front of them was enough to make anyone shudder. The toilet, once a simple fixture, was now a grotesque sight. A thick, stubborn layer of dust and grime coated every inch, making it look almost unrecognizable. It was as if the dirt had hardened over time, creating a solid shell that was impossible to ignore. The air around it was heavy, thick with the smell of decay that seeped from the layers of neglect. It wasn't just dirt. It was something deeper, something that had been allowed to fester for far too long. After hours of intense cleaning, the team sat down, their bodies weary and sore from the back-breaking work. The house had gone from a nightmare of clutter and grime to a space that, while still needing some finishing touches, was now livable again. Every part of them ached, and their hands were raw from scrubbing surfaces that had been untouched for so long. But even as they tried to rest, the weight of the day's work hung heavy in the air, and their tired minds began to drift. In his dream, he saw shadows move, creeping through the rooms, whispering in the silence. Thank you all so much for being here with us on this journey. Your support and encouragement make these challenging jobs worth every second. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this transformation, and stay tuned. There's always another house waiting for the Cleaning Hero Squad. Until next time. Welcome back, heroes. You're watching Cleaning Hero Squad, where transformations begin. And today we're diving into one of the most intense transformations we've ever tackled. Picture this, a home buried under a mountain of clothes, each one telling a story of neglect, struggle, and perhaps a bit of loss. This is the reality we encountered when stepping into the home of a recently divorced man. Life can be messy, and sometimes it shows up in the spaces we live in. Today, we're not just cleaning, we're giving this house and its owner a second chance. We're here to uncover the layers of chaos and turn this house back into a home. So grab a coffee, settle in, and join us for this emotional and rewarding journey. When we first walked in, it was overwhelming. The mountain of clothes stretched from wall to wall. Closets, chairs, even the floor. Everything had become a storage spot. It's not just about the mess. It's a reflection of someone struggling to move forward after a significant life change. Our team split up to tackle the chaos head-on, each member taking on a different area of the house. From clearing out mountains of clutter in the living room to scrubbing away layers of dust in the hidden corners, everyone poured their energy into restoring order and cleanliness. It wasn't just about cleaning, it was about bringing balance and harmony back to the space. We know the first step in dealing with a big mess can feel overwhelming, so we'd love to hear from you. How do you handle the initial chaos when starting a major decluttering or cleaning project? Share your tips and experiences in the comments below. The house had become a victim of overwhelming hoarding, with piles of items stacked in every corner, leaving barely any room to move. Over time, the sheer volume of clutter had led to an unbearable sense of overload, not just visually, but emotionally. As the hoarded items began to deteriorate, The air became heavy with the stench of neglect, making it hard to ignore the toll it was taking on the space and its inhabitants. It wasn't just a house filled with stuff. It was a cry for help, a space desperately in need of attention, care, and a fresh start. As the team divided up the tasks, the bedroom became one of the most daunting areas to tackle. With layers of blankets, clothes, and forgotten items scattered across the bed, it seemed like an endless mission. But amidst the chaos, something incredible happened. While lifting yet another layer of blankets, one team member exclaimed, "Guys, I think I've struck gold." Everyone gathered around, curious and slightly skeptical. To their amazement, there it was, a small treasure trove of coins hidden beneath the pile. The room erupted into laughter as someone joked, "Well, who needs a bank when you got a mattress like this?" The team couldn't stop chuckling as they continued sorting, now with a little extra motivation to see what other treasures might be waiting. The kitchen presented one of the toughest challenges. The cabinets and countertops were coated in layers of sticky yellowed grease that seemed impossible to remove. Every scrub felt like a battle against years of buildup, but the team was determined. Armed with the right cleaning supplies and a lot of elbow grease, they worked tirelessly. As the grime finally gave way, the transformation was nothing short of magical. The once dull cabinets gleamed, and the countertops sparkled like they were brand new. Seeing the kitchen restored to its former glory was a moment of pure satisfaction. As the team diligently worked through the layers of mess in the house, the tension between the couple who lived there became evident. Their voices echoed through the space, each blaming the other for the neglect that had led to the home's current state. The arguments mirrored the very chaos we were trying to clean, a buildup of unresolved issues manifesting in clutter and disarray. It was a stark reminder that a neglected home often reflects deeper struggles within. While their disagreements filled the air, the team stayed focused, quietly hoping that the act of restoring their home could spark a sense of renewal, not just for the space but for their relationship as well. Sometimes cleaning up a house is just the first step toward healing more than the physical mess. Cleaning a dirty floor might seem like a daunting task, but there's something incredibly satisfying about seeing it shine again. A floor is the foundation of your home, and when it's clean, it transforms the entire space, making everything feel fresher and more welcoming. All it takes is the right tools, a little effort, and a mindset focused on results. Have you ever tackled a floor that seemed beyond saving? Share your tips, tricks, or experiences in the comments. We'd love to hear them. And don't forget to hit subscribe to join us for more inspiring cleaning adventures. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Cleaning Hero Squad for more stories of hope, transformation, and, of course, some seriously satisfying cleaning. Until next time, heroes, stay inspired and remember, every space has the potential for a fresh start. See you soon. Glad to have you back with us at Cleaning Hero Squad, where we tackle the messes others won't dare to touch. Today, we are back at a house we cleaned not too long ago, and guess what? The homeowner called us again. That's right, this place has fallen back into complete chaos, and we have another extreme cleaning challenge ahead of us. The first time we were here, we thought we had restored order, but life happens and sometimes people just need a little more help. So today, we're stepping in once more to bring this home back to life. Before we get started, take a look at this mess. Trash everywhere, dust piling up, and an odor that hits you the second you step inside. It's a total disaster. But don't worry, we've got the gloves, the gear, and the determination to make this place shine again. Let's do this. floor is barely visible, and the kitchen, oh no, the kitchen looks like it hasn't been touched since we left. There are dirty dishes stacked high, grease stains, and old food sitting out. And let's not even talk about the bathroom just yet. We'll get there soon enough. So what happened here? Well, the homeowner told us that after our last deep clean, they tried to keep up with things, but life got in the way. Stress, work, and exhaustion took over, and before they knew it, the mess had piled up again. And you know what? That's okay. We're not here to judge. We're here to help. As we made our way to the air conditioner, we were met with a sight that could rival an ancient artifact discovery. Layers upon layers of dust, thick enough to write a whole novel on. The vents were practically begging for fresh air, and with one swipe, a cloud of dust erupted like a mini volcanic explosion. At this point, I think the AC had forgotten what its actual job was. And look at this. This is what happens when you let things sit for too long. Stains harden, grime builds up, and suddenly what could have been a simple wipe down turns into a full-on battle. This is why routine cleaning is so important. Who else has ever neglected their air conditioner for way too long? Be honest. When was the last time you cleaned yours? Walking into the kitchen felt like stepping onto an ice skating rink, except instead of ice, it was layers of thick, sticky grease. Every surface was coated in a golden brown mystery film that could probably be traced back to 1,000 fried meals ago. One wipe and bam! The rag turned a color I'm not sure even exists in nature. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the stove had its own ecosystem. And then, the balcony. Oh boy, it looked less like an outdoor space and more like a fabric jungle. Clothes were piled up, hanging on every possible railing, chair, and even the floor. Trying to walk through it was like navigating an obstacle course, dodging shirts, socks, and, wait, is that a jacket from the 90s? Wow, would you look at that? These tiles were so covered in dust and grime that we almost forgot they were supposed to be white. For a moment, we thought they came in a trendy, vintage gray color. But nope, after some serious scrubbing, the original bright white is finally making a comeback. It's like watching a magic trick. One swipe, and boom! Years of dirt just disappear. And let's be real, there's something oddly satisfying about seeing that mop water turn dark brown, even if it's also kind of horrifying. Tell me, have you ever cleaned something so dirty that you completely forgot what color it was supposed to be? Drop your cleaning confessions in the comments. Clutter isn't just messy, it's a health hazard. One day it's just a little pile, and before you know it, you're navigating an obstacle course just to find your keys. Let's be real. Do you really need that stack of old magazines from 2012? Or that mystery Tupperware buried in the fridge that you're too scared to open? The truth is, too much clutter can lead to dust buildup, mold, and even unwanted critters making themselves at home. Cleaning up isn't just about making things look nice. It's about reclaiming your space, your sanity, and your health. So if you've been putting off decluttering, consider this your sign. Start small, stay consistent, and remember, your home should be a sanctuary, not a storage unit. What's the weirdest thing you found while decluttering? Drop it in the comments. And there you have it. After hours of hard work, this home is finally clean again. The floors are spotless, the air is fresh, and every room has been completely transformed. The homeowner now has a fresh start, and hopefully this time, they can maintain it. After finishing the deep clean, our team went the extra mile to disinfect every corner of the house, eliminating hidden germs, bacteria, and lingering odors. From doorknobs to countertops, from the bathroom to the kitchen, nothing was left unchecked. Now this space isn't just clean, it's truly fresh, safe, and revitalized. And if you enjoyed this transformation, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more extreme cleaning videos, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Thanks for watching Cleaning Hero Squad. See you in the next one.